Do you know that by 2030, Alberta will be shot by over 10,000 nurses? In today's video, I'm going to dive into the most in-demand occupations here in Alberta. We'll be unveiling a report from the government that predicts the job landscape for Alberta in the next 10 years. And we'll not just be talking about the most in-demand jobs, but the jobs that are no longer in demand here in Alberta and won't be anytime soon. One more thing. We're not just going to be revealing the hottest professions in Alberta, but also I'm going to list the 3 priority sectors of employment and of course immigration in this video. So guys, please watch this video to the end because it's going to be packed with a lot of information. By the end of this video, I promise you will have enough information to help you make that informed decision if you're planning to move to Canada and if you're looking to get a job here in Alberta or to study, okay? Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Zini. Here I and my husband make videos about life in Canada. We share our life experiences as immigrants and we share information that will help newcomers and intending ones navigate, settle and succeed in Canada. Please join the family by subscribing to the channel and turn on the bell icon so that you get notified whenever we upload a new video. And if you're ready for this topic, let's jump right in. In no particular order, number 1 in-demand job here in Alberta is accountant, technicians and bookkeepers. Technicians in accounting and bookkeepers are projected to have a supply shortage, and that shortage would only grow to over 3,000 people in the coming years. The good news here is the technicians and bookkeepers, they have a lower qualification requirement than the accountant counterparts, okay? So a 2-year college program, accounting course is enough for you to get a job here in this role. Speaking of professional accountants, please guys, take note, Alberta currently has more certified accountants than it actually needs right now. So I will not recommend Alberta if you are a full-fledged accountant planning to come to Canada. Okay, next up on my list are petroleum engineers. See guys, Canada wouldn't be Canada if it wasn't in dire need of engineers. Engineering professions are always needed, and of course petroleum engineers are the leading in this list, mostly because you already know the province is the oil capital of Canada. Civil engineers, mechanical engineers are also coming up very close as high in demand here in Alberta as well. In fact, generally, you would not go wrong with any province if you're an engineer in Canada. Just make sure that you get your professional engineer designation in Canada, which might take time and money. Next up are elementary and secondary school teachers assistants. Alberta has become a very attractive province for its home affordability relatively and of course lower taxes compared to other provinces. That means a lot more families are moving over here and calling Alberta home. With that, the province needs a lot more of elementary and secondary school teaching assistants than they already have, okay? The good news about this is that unlike teachers who have to obtain a full teaching degree, becoming a teaching assistant only requires you to complete a 10-month college program and that's it. The next occupation on my list is not what you would expect, guys. There is a growing need of graphic designers and illustrators here in Canada, especially in Alberta. Specifically, we are looking for those with 3D animation skills and design, okay? About half of the on-field design position here in Alberta will belong to professionals who are retiring in the next few years. So that makes this profession in high demand. The beauty of this occupation is that it is versatile, guys. An ideal candidate for this profession has an arts bachelor's degree as well as a portfolio of work to showcase to prospective employers. Coming up next are home building and renovation managers. Someone must fix the housing crisis in Canada, right? First step is, of course, ensuring we have enough people to build our new homes and revive the old ones through renovation. With Alberta's growing popularity, there would be need for home building and renovation managers here in Alberta. The unique attribute of this occupation is that most people of this profession are self-employed or business owners, employing laborers and other trades, most of which are also seeing a shortage in the province and of course in the country at large. This is a very important occupation for the future of Alberta. You will get extra perks if you hold a LEED certificate. Alberta considers all construction occupations as priority occupation for express entry pathway. And just to add, that was how we got into Alberta, right? My husband had construction background. And yeah, that also helped us to get that provincial nomination. So professionals in the construction industry will get up to 20% of all express entry draws allocated to them here in Alberta. There are also trade grants available for those studying in the construction trades field. The next two professions in our list will be in the technology sector. The first one is computer programmers. With Alberta's wealth and natural resources, it has become the home to loads of technology innovation in the natural resource space. I wouldn't be surprised if Alberta's startup scene starts booming and becomes as vibrant and of course well known as in Toronto and Montreal. And for that reason, it is projected to have substantial need in computer programmers and of course interactive media developers. It is important to note that this occupation should not be confused with software engineers or web developers. Alberta is specifically looking for computer programmers and media developers. Other roles are still in some way in demand, but it's lower compared to the one earlier mentioned. Okay, the main difference between the two is the type of bachelor's degree and the experience you have. As technology in Alberta is set to boom, so the need for a good mix of business and technical acumen. Information system analysts and consultants will see an increasing demand and shortage over the next 10 years. A range of degrees from business to software engineering will help in entering this profession. As always, experience in the field also play a major advantage. Database analysts and administrators will have a noticeable shortage in Alberta. If you hold any kind of technical degree and plan to immigrate to Alberta, Alberta has an accelerated tech pathway immigration program which would give you an advantage, especially if you have a job offer. Now, we're getting into the crisis mood professions. Coming up next are registered nurses and registered psychiatric nurses, specifically, which accounts for almost half of the nursing shortages that we are going to be talking about. Okay, by 2030, Alberta will be short of over 10,000 nurses. Registered nurses and registered psychiatric nurses are seeing the highest shortages, followed by nursing aides and licensed practical nurses. To practice as a nurse in Canada, all occupations require different levels of degrees and training, along with registration with a regulatory body in specific province. Okay, healthcare professionals, most importantly nurses, will have a 30% allocation of express entry draws in the coming years. Nursing is one of the best ways to immigrate to Canada, guys. As a province that attracts a lot of young families, Alberta wants to make sure that it can take good care of its young population, okay? And that's why we need the medical professionals in this province. With gorgeous outdoors, Alberta also sees tourism as one of the key economic drivers and of course needs people to support that, which brings us to our next high in demand occupation here in Alberta. These are instructors in recreation, sports and fitness, right? Personal trainers, ski instructors, camp leaders, and other sports and recreation professionals are in extreme shortage here in Alberta, and their demand will continue to grow as the province economy explodes. To qualify for this occupation, a college degree in physical education or sports, as well as certification depending on your specialization, is required. Tourism and hospitality sector is among the 3 priority sectors for express entry programs in Alberta as well. So these occupations will be prioritized for selection in the express century. Alberta is a major hub for natural resources, supplying not just the rest of Canada, but also the US and other countries, right? With that, shortage of shipping and receiving professionals like freight receive, import freight, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, import freight clerk, shipping agent, or supply chain assistant is significantly not enough in Alberta. So people here, people who live in Alberta, are not really taking up these jobs, probably because its wages averages about $20 per hour, and companies are seeing a lot of shortages in this because people want to earn higher, right? If you're thinking of coming to Canada or coming from outside Canada, this is an occupation that you can explore to get a job and move down here, okay? On the other hand, no education is required for this professional role except for some kind of experience with warehouse work and forklift certificate, okay? That's what you would need. This occupation may be a very fantastic opportunity, just like I said before, if you want to get a temporary work permit or a job offer outside of Canada. Coming in next are construction trade helpers and laborers. I know the others I mentioned construction managers, but these ones are construction trade helpers and laborers, okay? Professionals that fall into this category are vast, with some examples being carpenters, demolition specialists, roofers, plumbers, and of course others. We know all of them. All these occupations have been and will continue to make critical contribution to Alberta's growing population and economy. So we need them here. There are simply not enough trade professionals willing to work here in Alberta. So as much as Alberta is willing to get, they would love to have as many people as possible. So far, we've talked about 2 out of 3 priority sectors, so I mixed them up while we're talking, which are construction and tourism and hospitality. I also want to give an honorable mention to the agricultural sector, which is the 3rd priority sector in Alberta. Currently, there's a significant shortage of agricultural labor, but it is projected to balance out in the next 10 years, and that is why I didn't really mention it as occupations that are in high demand here in Alberta. If you have a background in agriculture, now is the absolute best time to act. Don't wait. Managers in agriculture and general farm workers occupations are seeing the sharpest shortage today. So these occupations will likely be prioritized by Alberta immigration in the coming years. Now, as I promised, here is the brief list of occupations that Alberta really does not need at this time, and I don't think they will need it in the nearest future. In fact, Alberta has so many professionals in these fields that it is having a hard time providing or creating enough jobs for these guys. And they are senior managers in healthcare, telecom, transportation, construction, and utilities industries. The reality, guys, is that most of the senior management positions are filled up by Canadians who have 10 years plus Canadian work experience in the sector. This type of senior roles are also extremely hard to qualify for without any Canadian experience. Next, if you're in marketing, I have bad news. Advertising, marketing, and public relations space is crowded, guys. There are more people looking for jobs in this field than there are jobs themselves, okay? Do not consider Alberta if you're in the marketing profession. And of course, based on my personal experience, it will really be challenging to land a marketing role basically anywhere in Canada because people are already here with those professions, a lot of people, okay? Marketing degree is also one of the most popular bachelor's degree in Canada. Most people come to school and they study marketing, so we have a lot of graduates. So there are so many marketing professionals that universities have produced on a regular basis out there in the job market. Some of the other roles that Alberta really does not need are general office support, admin assistant, receptionist, retail, sales, and insurance agents, okay? Customer service, all of that, right? Are you surprised? If you're surprised about all this that I mentioned for Alberta, Please let me know in the comment section. I really want to know. And if you have any other profession that you think Alberta does not need at this time, please tell me in the comment section too, because I feel like there are still more that we do not need at this time. Please, if you found this video helpful, hit the like button, share with your friends who are currently considering moving to Alberta, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell icon so that you are notified whenever we upload a new video. Okay. Thank you so much guys for watching. Really do appreciate your support. Looking forward to seeing you all in my next video. Bye.